Hello, welcome to CIPD Bitesize. In this video, we're looking at AC2.1, which is evaluate the contribution made by stakeholders listed below to improving well-being at work. Now, the marking guide's a little bit easier, which is evaluate key stakeholders' contribution to improving well-being at work. You also have to focus on people, professionals, leadership and management, and external partners in this 2.1. So it's a chunky question, but we can do it. Now, remember, within AC 1.1 to 2.3, you've got 6 questions in this. That is a 2,000 word writing limit. That means you've got 333 words per AC. So this is one where if you've saved a few words and you've done a few things, you might need to throw a couple of extra words at it. So let's break down the question as we normally do first, which is evaluate. Verb's critical. Verb is absolutely critical when you're breaking down questions. The contribution made by key stakeholders to improving well-being at work. So you've got people, professionals, leadership management, and external partners. Now, I know what you're thinking, what the hell do they mean by external partners? But this could be health, software, this could be development, this could be the telephone numbers that people put on your desk and go to ring them, in terms of that. It could be health and well-being apps. It could be people coming in to do blood pressure, could be coming in to give blood. External partners could be anything. So try not to go, oh my God, what does this mean? What does this mean? Just think about it. Now, remember, you work for InsureSave. It's not critical for this question, but again, it's always worth keeping in mind you work for InsureSave. Work for InsureSave. So anyway, let's break down the question. Evaluate, to judge or calculate the quality, importance, amount, or value of something. And as you will see here, my study tip, case studies are a great way to evidence your thinking. If I was taking this question, you're looking at probably around about 3 to 4 references, citations per, within the question, 1 per action point. So to start with, I would explain what the importance of well-being at work is using a theory of structure, being so going, right, evaluating the key contribution. This is the important, and then I will go, people, professionals' responsibility to improving well-being at work is this, because this is why it's important. Leadership and management responsibility is this. External partners' responsibility is this. Everybody has a role when it comes to health and well-being, when it comes to creating a culture, when it comes to creating an acceptable workplace, when it comes to working together, when it comes to collaboration, when it comes to inclusivity. Everybody has a job. Within this question, you just have to find the right case studies, the right evidence, the right statistics and data to demonstrate that. Everybody has a role to play. Everybody needs to do something. Everybody needs to play their part. Now, we've got some interesting reading for you when it comes to this is in terms of CIPD fact sheet. Obviously, that's always the case, but the 2 CIPD reports are really critical for this. So the Health and Wellbeing at Work 2023 and the Health and Wellbeing at Work case studies really are a really rich source of environment when you're looking at how it goes from people, professionals, to leadership and management, to external partners, how they bring people in, what they do. And a really good case study that I've been reading is HR Magazine's 3, the mobile network 3, the UK's award-winning wellbeing strategy. Now that has external specialists coming in. It's working with HR. It's trying to change how leadership and management approach situations. So again, it's coming at it from all the different multiple angles and stuff like that. So it's definitely an article worth a try. You can find it. It's completely open online. So if you're not enrolled with us and you're reading this going, oh my God, how am I going to find it? It's readily available. It's really easy to find. All these things, if you're studying with us, will be in the VLE. There'll be the next 4 things that you read after watching this video. So they're just lined up for you to just knock them down as you go. But this is where information and your answers and your references can come to. Remember, CIPD loves CIPD. So if you are going to use references and source materials, don't use stuff like just general internet posts about going, this is what, leaders have a critical role. Right? No, it needs to be evidence-based. It needs to be referenced. It needs to be cited. It needs to have data, statistics. It needs to prove it. If you're reading an article telling you about how leaders and managers have responsibility, whilst you might agree with the content, if they don't prove it in statistics, data, and research, it's not a referenceable article for me. So try to ensure that you're using sources that are not just clickbait in terms of trying to make themselves rank high on SEO or trying to get likes on LinkedIn or anything like that. Try and find things that are heavily researched, heavily corroborated, heavily peer reviewed. That is how you get through this question a lot easier and a lot more efficient, because you've got 4 action points. You've got 333 words per for the entire unit. That's 83 words per action point. You need to be efficient if you're going to bring in references, statistics, case studies, and other bits and pieces. So you need to have a really clear indication for each of them as to how you're going to answer. Now, one of the things we do to help you contextualize the question is we give you a bit of a fictitious scenario. And in this one, it's going to be the case of the unhappy hamsters. In a bustling metropolis of Amsterdam, not to be confused with the place in Holland, a particular problem arose where the hamsters were unhappy. The wheels spun listlessly, their sunflower seeds tasted bland, the tunnels felt more like mazes than cozy homes. People professionals were these wise old owls of Amsterdam. They observed the hamsters, noting their sleep patterns, their wheel running speeds, and even their poop pellet production, a crucial indicator of hamster happiness, you see. They suggested innovative solutions like 2-day Fridays, where hamsters got extra large blocks of wood to gnaw on, and nap time yoga, where they were gently swayed on the branches of a calming hamster jazz. Leadership and management were those burly squirrels, the bosses of Amsterdam. They initially scoffed at the owls' fluffy ideas. More wood? Nonsense. We need to increase seed production. More seeds mean more running. More running means more happiness, they declared. However, after a particularly grumpy hamster revolution involving a surprisingly well-organized seed throwing incident, the squirrels grudgingly accepted the owl's wisdom. External partners were the eccentric creatures from beyond the Amsterdam borders. There was Bartholomew the badger, who introduced the concept of enrichment tunnels with hidden treats. There was Beatrice the bee, who brought pollen-infused aromatherapy candles to combat hamster stress. And not to forget Ferdinand the fox, who, despite his reputation, offered a surprisingly insightful advice on reducing hamster territorial disputes. More tunnels and fewer hamsters per tunnel, he grumbled. Now, when they evaluated the contributions, the question becomes, how did each group contribute to improving hamster well-being? Did the owls' 2-day Fridays actually increase gnawing satisfaction? Did the squirrels' increased seed production lead to a fitter, happier hamsters, or just hamsters with indigestion? Were Bartholomew's tunnels truly enriching, or did they just confuse hamsters? To answer these questions, the hamsters need to carefully analyze their own happiness levels. Did they feel more playful? Did they sleep better? Did they enjoy those pollen-infused candles? So within the analogy, obviously the hamsters and the employees, happiness is the well-being at work. The wheels are productivity, sunflower seeds are salary and benefits, tunnels are the work environment. And by evaluating the impact of each stakeholder, the people, professionals, the leadership, the external partners, on the hamster's overall well-being, you can determine the more effective strategies for creating a happy and productive workforce. Now, you can do that through surveys, you can do that through focus groups, you can do that through talking to people, you can do that through effective listening. But the point of this is everyone tried to improve things. Not everyone was right, and not everything was correct. For example, the leadership and management throwing more seeds at this, more work, led to a revolution that led to the hamsters standing up against the leadership. So whilst they were trying to do the right thing, they got it wrong. But they heard the feedback and they changed. That's the critical element when it comes to this. How do you listen effectively? As long as you're trying to improve things, you're improving things. And that's kind of how you evaluate key stakeholders' contributions. Everyone can try and improve things, but how do you evaluate the impact? How do you make the right changes? How do you ensure that you keep doing the things that make things better and stop doing the things that make things worse? Absolutely best of luck with this unit. It's a tricky one from a word count perspective. So if you are going to save a few words on a few of the previous questions, I would allocate a few extra to this one so that you can really sort of bulk out your ideas with some evidence, references, citations, and information from other units. Absolutely best of luck, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.